the old rock pile. When you reflect back, Van,
the old toilet in there. They had one little toilet in the whole big press box, you know. But it was a very friendly place to broadcast from because everybody was close to the field. You know, you could only get 40-some thousand people in there. And we had a big broadcast booth, but I had to duck around pillars. You know, there were steel girder pillars here that were ducking around, you know, to see the game. So, but that was one of a kind.
In Carlton, Cookie Gilchrist, a thundering runner and irrepressible character.
Cookie Gilchrist.
Probably the best blocker in the history of college or professional football. He weighed 250 pounds. You know, in Canada, he played every position. He played offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, fullback, running back. He kicked off. He returned kickoffs. He kicked field goals. He was unbelievable. Very strong guy and a terrific player. He was every bit as good as Jimmy Brown ever was, believe me. He was a great football player.
How come he hasn't come back? The old time.
Well, you know, I'll tell you why. Cookie was very bitter that he didn't play when it was big money time, with the money they're making now, and he's always been bitter about that. I'm on the Hall of Fame or the Wall of Fame committee for the Bills, and Cookie should be there, but he wants money. He wants the Bills to pay him to come back to put his name on the Wall of Fame, and you know, that's ridiculous.
Sure it is.
And I love Cookie. You know, Cookie was a great guy. He was the worst poker player in the world.
Is that right?
And on trips to the West Coast, we'd play 7-card stud. And it took 7 hours on a DC 6B to get there. By the time we got over Chicago, Cookie was borrowing money because he'd never drop out of a hand. But he always paid you back.
Right.
Yeah.
Buster Ramsey was the first coach and fathered the franchise through the formative seasons of 1960 and 1961.
Yeah.
What a character. He used to say, Miller, I'm going to change 3 numbers, and I'm not telling you any of them. He loved my wife, though. He was a great guy. And our first trip to California, I'd never been there. I wanted to see the Golden Gate. I wanted to see, Muir Woods and get down to see Pebble Beach. And he said, Miller, the cocktail hour starts at 5 o'clock. I want you in the bar. I don't want you out sightseeing. So Buster was a hell of a coach, but a real character.
Yeah. Results. A call went out for Lou Saban.
Saban, a couple times.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, well, he walked out on Ralph Wilson, you know. He quit. He said, Ralph, I've lost the team. And Ralph said, well, where are they? And that's why he will never be on the Wall of Fame, and he should be, because he won 2 AFL championships. I have only one of the rings on today, but I have both of the championship rings.
The Sestaks, the Dunaways.
Well, and the Jack Kemps and Darryl LaMonica and guys like that. You know, the squads then were only 33 players, so they were a lot smaller, but it was more of a family situation then. Billy Shaw made $11,000, and he's in the Hall of Fame, you know, so, but there was more family then. It was, it's a different thing now, you know, the money is so big, and of course they didn't have the off-season training regimen they have now. A lot of those guys had to get another job in the off-season, so, and they couldn't play with the teams today. The linebackers in those days weighed 180, 190 pounds at the most. And Jimmy Brown would not run against Takeo Spikes the way he ran against guys like Nick Bonacani is about my size. You know, Sam Huff, he's not much bigger than I am. And they were superstars, you know. So it's a different world today. It's a different game.
Should be in the Hall of Fame that's not.
Well, certainly Sestak should be there, that's for sure.
While the rest of the AFL polished gadget plays, Buffalo's number 70, Tom Sestak, concentrated on no-frills defense.
Wide right. Does that still hurt when you...
Well, yeah, you know, it does, because that's the one the Bills should have won. They only had the ball on offense for 19 minutes. the Giants had the ball for 41 minutes. And the Bills, you know, they couldn't tackle Mark Ingram, 3 guys on a 3rd and 13.
Right.
And the kick was long enough, but it was wide right. And but you know, I always took the position, it's only a game. And I was disappointed, but you know, that's the way it goes. So, you know, there was no weeping and gnashing of teeth. It was just the Bills didn't win and we were disappointed, and we go on to the next year.
The quiet man of this football team, Scott Norwood. He can fire the shot heard round the world now.
What a fine game. What an absolutely fine game.
Here we go with 8 seconds to play.
Get ready.
High drama here in the Super Bowl.
Back, slot, in the air, stop the distance, hit it.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
You got to start with Jim Kelly as your quarterback, and you got to put Cookie in that backfield and Thurman Thomas in that backfield, and you know, they've had so many great wide receivers, and Tom Sestak was a great defensive lineman. Billy Shaw, who's in the, you know, he's in the Hall of Fame at Canton. You know, there's so many great ones over the years, and Andre Reed and Bruce Smith, certainly you have to name him as maybe the greatest defensive lineman the Bills have ever had. And, but a lot of guys, Ron McDowell, and you know, there are just a few of the players that come to mind.
It's for the 2000 boys. OJ running left. OJ 5 more. There it is. They did it. I just wonder if the 3 of us at this moment fully realize what it is to watch O.J. Simpson run for 2,000 yards in one season.
I used to play tennis with O.J. and beat his fanny, but I don't think I could speak to him now. You know, after what happened, and who am I to say he's guilty or not guilty, but when it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's usually a duck. And so I don't know. He was a great player, a great running back. But, you know.
Is there a highlight? You've had so many calls.
Well, the comeback game will be etched in my memory forever. Down 35-3 to come back and win that game. That was the greatest game, you know, and the uniqueness of us. And the
next possession, and Reich does it again.
Reed at the 5, in for the touchdown. Andre Reed has scored.
Reich on the mark, 26 yards to Reed. It was 35-24, and the Bills were down by just 11 with over 4.5 minutes to go in the third.
There's the snap. He backs up. He looks. He throws. Reed, touchdown. Reed for the touchdown. Unbelievable. The Bills are back.
Following a Henry Jones interception on a 4th and 5, Reich hit Reed from 18 yards out. It was 35-31 after 3 quarters.
He looks, he throws, touchdown! Andre Reed for the touchdown!
Reich 17 yards to Reed, and the Bills had their first lead of the day, 38-35 with 3:08 to go in the 4th quarter. But the Oilers come back at a 26-yarder from Al Del Greco with 15 seconds to go in regulation. We go to overtime. So it was tied at 38 into overtime. The Oilers win the toss, but then Warren Moon, one pass too many. Nate Odom steps in front of this one at the 37, a 2-yard return, and the Bills are in business. Enter Steve Christie to win it.
32 yards from the center of the field. Adam Lingner ready to snap it back. It's 38 all. Bills can win it here. Reich puts it down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. And the Bills have won it. The Bills have won it. The Bills have won it. They win it 41-38. Incredible. What a comeback by the Bills.
And the fans are all over the field.
Absolutely incredible. This place is pandemonium.
Look at the fans pouring onto the field and the mob scene of Steve Christie.
This has been terrific, Van.
Well, nice to talk.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Good to be here.